The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi children, welcome back to the grammar class. So today I am going to deal with 3 topics. That is, the first one is how to write a conversation, and the second one is how to make a notice, and the third one is the affixes. Okay, so to begin with, what is a conversation? You might have written last year conversations, so many exchanges, etc. But let's learn now what is a conversation and how to write a conversation in the correct format as well as the methods to write the conversation. Okay, so what is a conversation? Conversation is a method of self-expression and it is an interaction between 2 or more people. Okay, so what are the simple steps to be followed to write the conversation? Let's see that. So here I have written 8 points to write a conversation effectively. Okay, let's see one by one. The first one is writing dialogues with 5 or 10 exchanges. In the question paper, when it is given to write a dialogue or a conversation with 5 exchanges, each character or each person should have 5 dialogues. Okay, so total, if there are 2 people to converse each other, then there will be total 10 dialogues in your conversation. Okay, so you should know what is meant by 5 exchanges or 10 exchanges. If you are asked to write 10 exchanges, each person should have 10 dialogues. Okay, so I hope it's clear. The first point is clear for you. Now the second one, using proper sequence of exchanges. Proper sequence means there should be a flow of dialogues. That is, if somebody asks you, if somebody greet you in the morning, good morning or good afternoon, you should return that greetings to that person, right? So you have to say yes, good morning or very good morning. We used to reply like that. So that is the proper sequence of writing the dialogues. If somebody asks you, how are you? You are supposed to answer, well, I am fine or I am good, right? So that is the proper sequencing of exchanges. Okay, now next one, sustaining the conversation with social norms. Sustaining the conversation with social norms means you should be very polite in writing the, very polite and mannered to write the dialogues. Okay, that is what sustaining the conversation with social norms. You should have politeness in writing the dialogues. Okay, now next one, using of discourse markers. What is a discourse markers? Have you heard this before? Okay, let me explain to you. Discourse markers, that is a word or a phrase which manages the flow of the discourses. Here it is the flow of the dialogues. Okay, examples for discourse makers like well, or it is like I mean, or you know. We used to while speaking we use these kind of words that are said to be the discourse makers. Okay. Now the next point is using short responses and tags wherever necessary. Using short responses or tags means, like we used to when you chat in WhatsApp, how do you write for yes? We use like 2 M's we will put, or 1 M. Then lol, we say lol, isn't it? What is the meaning of lol? So these kind of words we have to use while writing this conversation. Okay, these all are what is the tags or the responses which we give in short. Okay, so that has to be used in conversations. Next one, using dialogues apt to the context. It is very important that you should not go out of the box. Okay, it should be related, or it should be confined to the story of the lesson. Okay, like that you have to make the dialogue. You cannot write dialogues as you wish. It should be confined to the story. Okay, now next one, using appropriate cohesive devices. What is cohesive devices? Some words which are attached to the daily conversation, like however, moreover, really, sincerely. All these words are the cohesive devices, or whenever, wherever we use such words in our conversation or when we speak to others. So these words are said to be cohesive devices. Cohesive means something which is attached. Okay. Now next one, using proper punctuations. Punctuation means, see, usually we use the different kinds of sentences. I hope you remember the different kinds of sentences. So while speaking or while conversing in English or in Malayalam, whichever language, we will ask, sometimes we will ask questions, sometimes we will be surprised to hear something. So accordingly we have to use the punctuation. You know, for surprises we use exclamation mark, for questions we use question mark, and for statements we use what do we use for statements? We use full stops, isn't it? So like that you have to use punctuation marks. It is very compulsory to use punctuation marks while writing conversation. Okay, so these are the 8 steps which you have to follow while writing the conversation. Now let's see as per the exchanges, how can we make it more easy to understand the conversation writing, right? So now let's see how we are going to write the different exchanges. Okay, the first exchange, when you start writing the conversation, the first exchange should be about following the social norms. Following the social norms means, immediately when we are seeing a person, we never talk about the matter which we have to discuss with them, right? So we have to greet them first. That is meant by here social norms. Following the social norms, we will greet the person, then we will start the conversation. The next one, second exchange, general discussion on the content. General discussion on the content means, for what purpose you have come to meet the person, regarding that matter you have to make a general discussion. That is what general discussion on the content. Then next, third exchange should be introduction of the topic. Introduction of the topic means you are getting directly into the topic. If you are in need of something, you will ask that matter to the person whom you are talking to. So that is about introduction of the topic. Now next, fourth exchange, questioning, talking deeply about the content. So to get a clear picture of the matter, you have to ask questions, or you have to talk deeply about the matter. Then only you will get an idea about what you are asking and what will be the final result, isn't it? So questioning, talking deeply about the content. For example, if you are going to visit Agra to see Taj Mahal, okay, before reaching there, we will converse with the people to know more about that place and more about the historical values hidden behind the making of Taj Mahal, right? So that is about questioning, talking deeply about the content. Then in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th paras, same thing. The questioning, talking deeply about the content will go on like that. We cannot stop our inquiry within one dialogue, right? So the same thing will, same process will be going on in the next exchanges. Then the 9th exchange, conclusion or personal opinion about the content. What is the sum total of ideas that you have gathered? That will come in the 9th exchange. Then the 10th exchange, coming to the common idea. Again, both the person will come to a common idea that this is better. Like that they will come to a common idea. So that is coming to a common idea. Then 11th exchange, concluding with social norms. When you are leaving from that place, you will say bye, okay, all those things. So that is concluding with social norms. Now let us learn in detail the conversation writing with an example. Okay. So children, in page number 50, activity 2, you have a question where Satyajit Ray is coming to the Bharat Circus to meet the manager for asking tiger for his film. Right. You can check it in your textbook. So how would be the conversation between them? Let's see that. Okay. So first it is Ray is greeting the manager and he is saying, "Good morning sir, I am Satyajit Ray." Okay. So when you greet somebody, we are expecting them to greet back. Okay. So here manager is saying, "Very good morning, welcome sir, pleased to meet you." Okay, this is a humble way of greeting each other. Then, Ray, if you don't mind, I would like to get a favor from you. So here Satyajit Ray is also very good and polite in asking his what is his need. So he is saying, if you don't mind, I would like to get a favor from you. Manager, always with pleasure. What can I do for you? So here you can see what can I do for you. There I have put a question mark. So I told you punctuations are very necessary to show our feelings, okay, to show our emotions. So here, or to express our ideas. So after a question I have put a question mark. These punctuations are very important. I just repeat and say that because I have seen children writing the dialogues without any punctuation and just short forms of something, okay, some dialogues. So that is not enough. You have to write in detail and in a clear way what did you mean by writing a statement or a question sentence or anything like that. Okay. So here what can I do for you, question mark. Then again Ray is asking, you have many trained tigers, haven't you? So there I have used a question tag. That is also important to express our emotions. So you have many trained tigers, haven't you? I need one. You have many trained tigers, haven't you? I need one from it. Manager, you need one tiger, what's it for? Manager was surprised to hear that Satyajit Ray need a tiger. Okay, because his business is totally different from what the manager is doing, right? So he has put, you need one tiger, exclamation mark. What's it for? Question mark. Okay, like this, when you put punctuation marks, your expressions of ideas will be more effective. So in conversation, it is very important to use punctuation mark, and also the conversing dialogues should be very polite and humble way. Now let's connect these dialogues. Now I told you how to write various exchanges. Let's see whether it is matching to this dialogues. Okay, I told you the first exchanges should start with a social norm. Do you remember? So here you can see social norm means how you are greeting a person. Good morning, and again the good morning back. Okay. Now next, second exchange, what did I tell you? Second exchange should be the general discussion on the content. So here, second exchange, Ray first he wished or he greeted the manager, and his second exchange is, if you don't mind, I would like to get a favor from you. That is, he has come there to seek the help of the manager to get a tiger. So that is a general discussion on the content. The third exchange or the third dialogue of Ray is, you have many trained tigers, haven't you? I need one. So what is the third one? Did I tell you? Third one is introduction of the topic, isn't it? What is the matter in the question? That Ray is coming there to ask for a tiger, isn't it? So that has come. So here in the third exchange, you have many trained tigers, haven't you? I need one. The matter has come here, isn't it? Now the manager questioning why he need a tiger. Now let's see the fifth exchange. I am going to shoot a film in which there is a scene of the heroes meeting a tiger. So manager is asking, what is the use of a tiger for you? And he is saying that he is going to shoot a film in which he need a tiger. Okay, where the tiger is meeting the heroes. Okay, and the manager is saying, how long will the shooting take place? That is, there I have put a question mark there. So how long the shooting will take place, or how long they need the tiger? And Ray is saying, it won't take very long, perhaps 2 hours. It won't take too much of time, perhaps, maybe 2 hours. Then manager, it's okay, you can have 1 or 2 tigers with its trainer, Mr. Thorett. So manager is replying that it's okay, you can have 1 or 2 tigers with its trainer, Thorett, Mr. Thorett. Manager is not introducing the ringmaster Thorett simply by taking his name. He is giving respect to him. Okay, so you can take 1 or 2 tigers with its trainer, Mr. Thorett. He has used the word Mr. Okay, so Mr. Thorett, which shows the respect given to the person. Then next, Ray, very kind of you, thank you so much. Manager, you are welcome. So here also you can see I have used the exclamation mark, I have used the cohesive device, that is perhaps. I told you we have to use the cohesive devices like perhaps, however, whatever, whenever, all those things, right. So here I have used the cohesive device perhaps. Now let's see from fifth exchanges how it is written over here. So I stopped by saying that from the fourth exchange you have to start questioning and asking deeply about the matter. So in the fourth exchange you saw that manager is very surprised to hear that Satyajit Ray need a tiger, and he is asking to him, why do you need a tiger? So Ray is replying that I am going to shoot a new film in which he need a tiger, in which he want to shoot a scene where the tiger meets the heroes. Okay, so there from the fourth exchange onwards to the 8th exchange, you can ask questions, you can discuss deeply about the matter. Okay, by asking various questions or by producing your ideas on the matter, you can discuss that. Okay, till the 8th exchange. Now next you can see how long will the shooting take place. This all comes in questioning and answering. Then Ray, it won't take very long, perhaps 2 hours. Manager, it's okay. So in the 9th exchange, I told you they have to come to a general opinion. Here you can see manager, it's okay, you can have 1 or 2 tigers with its trainer Mr. Thorett. He has introduced Mr. Thorett also, and they have come to a conclusion that the circus people are ready to give that is the general opinion. That is they are ready to give the tiger to the film director. Okay, then the last I told you, again you have to conclude the conversation with a social norm. So here, very kind of you, thank you so much, and manager is also saying you are welcome. Okay, so this is how you have to write the conversation. Whichever lesson it is, as per the context you have to frame the statements or frame sentences, and you have to include all the 4 kinds of sentences if possible, and with correct punctuation you have to express your ideas. The major thing is that your dialogues should be in a polite manner. Okay, you should not show your power or your authority to others. Both the people who are conversing should have the same kind of politeness. Okay, like that you have to make the dialogues. I hope this part of conversation writing has made you clear how to write the conversation. So let's move on to the next topic, that is notice making. When do we make a notice? Notices are made when we are supposed to give an important information to the public or to others. Okay, so here in page number 51, you can see that Alfred Hitchcock need n number of ravens for his new film, The Birds. Okay, so he is placing a notice in all the newspapers of United States. So how would be that notice given? What is the format of writing the notice? Let's see that. For writing a notice, first you have to draw a rectangular box. Okay, it should be a rectangular box. Okay, so here you can see a rectangular box. Now first you have to write inside the box, you have to write notice in capital letters, then underline it. Okay, into the middle of the box, to the center of the box, you have to write the word notice. Now, who is publishing this notice? Here it is the Disney Studio. We can imagine that Disney Studio is giving the notice on behalf of Alfred Hitchcock. So here we can write Disney Studio. That is also in capital letter. Disney Studio, underline that. Okay. Now, what is the matter of publishing this notice? They need ravens. So here you can think it in a different way, like what you will say for the what is the collective noun of ravens? You can think like that. So here Alfred Hitchcock or Disney Studio need so many trained ravens. Okay, so what we can give the heading here? It is required trained Congress of ravens. have to underline it again. Okay, so you can see here how I have written the heading in the middle by underlining each one. This is very important. You have to write the heading, caption, and then you have to underline it. And all the headings should come in, you can see it comes like in a triangular way. Okay, so like that it should come here, and you should underline all the captions. That is the first step. Okay, now next one, you have to give a salutation here. So this is given in the press or in the newspapers for the public. Okay, so here you can give salutation as dear all. Okay, then put a comma there. Then straight to this salutation to this side, you can put the publishing date of the notice. So here I am going to write 25th September 2020, and again you have to put a comma there. Now while writing the notice, you should not write too much. Okay, just you have to specify the matter to the public. It should not be a lengthy note while writing the notice, only the crisp form of the matter. Okay, so what I can write here now, I can start by writing, this is to inform everybody that well-known film director Mr. Alfred Hitchcock is in need of trained ravens in his film The Birds. After this, you can write one more sentence. Those who possess a large number of trained ravens can approach or can come to Disney studio at the earliest. After writing that two sentences, just we have now defined or we have expressed our idea for what purpose we are giving this notice. That is enough. After writing the two sentences, then you have to draw a box like this, a box in the middle where you will write the venue. Venue means the place where you have to bring the, or the people have to bring the ravens. That is, venue is Disney studio, isn't it? Disney studio. Then the time to bring the ravens. Time will be, you can give it as 10 a.m. and the date, the last date to bring the ravens. Now this notice is of 25th September, so you can give time up to 10th October. Okay, this box is very important while writing notice. So inside this box you have to write the venue, time and date. These three things you don't have to mention in the writing part. Okay, there you have to just conclude the notice by writing two sentences, 2 or 3 sentences where these details are not given. And this box, inside this box you have to write the venue, time and date. Now after writing this or after making this box, just below the box you should not write straight to here, okay, to this side or to that side. Only below this box you have to write who has given, or you can put the signature here, just the signature, and who has given the notice. Notice who has given here, Disney Studio, film crew, isn't it? So here you can give film crew. And the signature of the manager. Designation can be written here. So to the left side below this box you have to write, you have to put the signature. Don't put the signature of other people. In paper, in your answer script, you have to put the signature by writing SD/. You are not supposed to put the signature of other people. That is a crime. So just we have to mention it by writing SD/. Okay, that is the way of writing the signature. Okay, so signature, then name. If it is from English club, you can write the name of the secretary of the English club there. Then below that, what is the designation of that person? That is secretary you will write if it is English club. Here it is the manager of the Disney Studio. Okay, this is the format. Write the notice in a correct way. I hope you got it. And the important thing which you have to remember while writing the notice is that you should never write in first person the notice. That is, you should never use pronouns like I or we while writing the notice. I hope it is clear for you. Now let's learn what are affixes. Okay, affixes. Affixes usually is divided into two, that is prefix and suffix. There is infixes also, but let's not learn that now. Okay, let's learn about prefix and suffix. So whenever I ask to students what is a prefix or what is a suffix, they say that the word which is added to another word in the beginning is said to be prefix, and the word which is added after the word is said to be the suffix. But actually, do you think it is the word which we add? What is a word? Word will give you some idea. See, if I say school, you get an idea that what is a school. Okay, when I say children, you will get an idea who are said to be children. But do you get any idea when I say dis, re, all those things? You are not getting any idea there. They are not words, they are said to be syllables. Okay, so we make prefix and suffix by adding syllables to it. Okay, so here affixes are divided into two, that is prefix and suffix. Okay, what is a prefix? Prefix. Pre means before, isn't it? So what is a prefix? The syllable which is added in the beginning of the root word is said to be prefix. The syllable which is added after the root word is said to be suffix. Let's see example for prefix. Okay, so you might have heard the word form. Have you heard the word form? Formation, all those things, isn't it? Formations. You might have heard it. Okay, so when we say formation, there is something which had formed already. Okay, now when we add re to this, it is reformation. Re is a Latin syllable which means again. Okay, so reformation. Reformation means, formation means already formed, and when we say reformation, the thing which is formed is again reformed. Okay, is again formed. So that is reformation. Re is a Latin syllable which means again. Okay, now there is another word, that is claim. Claim you might have heard. Now when I say reclaim, it becomes again claiming. Okay, so here claim and formation are the root words, and re is the prefix here, or the syllable which is added in front of the root word, which is said to be the prefix. Okay, now let's see the example for suffix. To make it simple, let me give you only one word for which we can find different suffixes. Okay, the word is love. How can you add syllable after this root word love and make the meaning different? When we add suffixes or prefixes to the root word, there will be slight changes in the meaning. So here love, how can we bring slight changes to this word, this root word? Okay, so if I add L-O-V-E-D, loved. Okay, what is the syllable which I have added here? I have added ed. Okay, now next one is lovingly. Lovingly. So here I have added G-L-Y. Okay, as the syllable. Then the next one is lovely. Lovely and loves. Okay, so here I have added ly and here s. So this word love, the root word love, has been changed slightly in its meaning by adding the suffix ed, gly, ly, s. Okay, this has different little bit, a slight change is there in the meaning of these words. So I hope you understood. Prefix means the syllable which is added in front of the root word, and suffix means the syllables which are added after the root word. Okay, so this is about prefix and suffix. There are activities in your textbook, you have to go through with it. So with that I conclude this session. Take care. Bye.